I could start now though. Yeah. And maybe in my next office hour, well, I think kind of disappeared as I was sharing. So let me just quickly redraw the triangles, y'all. Oh, that was hard. Wow. Give me a sec. I don't know if anyone took a picture of that, but it would have been quite helpful. It's because when I stopped sharing, it deleted my annotations. That sucks. Let's do this. I'm gonna do it quickly. So 84. It's around here. We have to start around there. Something like this. Then we had to go up to 105. Sorry, y'all. Let me just quickly get to this and then we'll start. 105 is a little bit past 100. First. Then it was 126 was my next one. Looks a little bit uneven, but we're just gonna have to do it. Right, is that 126? Yep. So I feel like maybe my 105 rectangle was not, it shouldn't be as accurate because that looks way too thick. Let's see, they should be evenly spaced. Yeah, 84 is right here, so I need to cut that. There we go. Now I have to delete this one. And yeah, I'm not gonna delete that line because it's gonna delete. So there's my 2. Sorry, y'all had to go to that painful looking at again. Sorry about that. All right, let's do this. All right, so we have to keep going until we hit 168. All my annotations are gone, but I hope y'all got the original information. So let's keep going. So this ended up at 126. And so we have to do 126 about one. Yeah, it should be a little bit more perfect. 126. We need to do 126 plus 21 because we decided to do 4 rectangles. So 126 plus 21, that's going to be 147. Let me know if I'm correct on that. Sometimes I make some errors. 147 is around right here. So it's a little bit before the 150. So I'm just going to have to make an estimate there. Somewhere right here. Again, the upper, so this is going to be my upper right hand because we're doing a right hand. We're going to go ahead and draw a rectangle and we're going to stop it once we touch the next rectangle. It's a little bit crooked, but you know what I mean. Again, all the bases of these are base width of 21. My height, how you determine the height of these rectangles is you just click on the points where the upper right hand corner is touching the graph. So the height would be the Y value. So it's supposed to be at 147. So the Y value, the height of this would be 2.584. The height of this third one would be, we have to go exactly at 126, would be 2.186. And then this one, the height of this would be, it was 105. Yeah, 105 would be 1.849. Now let's do our very last rectangle. If I do 147, plus 21. I should get that last one, which ends at 168. So let's do this, get that last one in, then we could talk about how we do our areas. There we go. So, okay, there's our crookedly drawn rectangles. Yes, they're crooked, but they're there. And let me go ahead and ask you all in the chat. And by the way, for those who just came in, we are on 3B on the mini final. All right, so I'm going to ask you guys in the chat, is this an over or an underestimate with this right Riemann sum? Is this an under or an over? All right, we have, okay, a lot of you are saying over, question mark, over. Yes, it's over because if I want the true area, right, the true area under this curve would be if I had shaded like this part would be my true area. From 84 to 168 would be this part. So it's definitely over. So that's the part you want to talk about, like when you're asked to reflect if this is an accurate estimate. I personally would say no. I mean, in my answer, I would try to kind of imagine subtracting that area off so that we can get something like if you get an area, right? Once we calculate this area, you want to say that the true area is a little bit less than that, right? Because when we calculate the area of these rectangles, it's going to be over. It's going to be over the true area. So then maybe you want to estimate how much areas are here and you're going to subtract that off. That's if you want to kind of push towards advanced, of course. But yeah, so the true areas here shaded in yellow. And as you can see, the rectangles are going a little bit over. So let's go ahead and start to calculate the areas of these rectangles. Let me show you how to do the first one. All right, so luckily, and this is the nice part about making sure all the widths are 21. All of them are 21, so that makes life easier. That means all the base lengths are 21 here. It's gonna make it easier to find the area when they're all the same. The thing that's different is obviously the height, because notice, obviously this is the shortest height, gets bigger, taller, taller. So the heights are changing. To find the area of a rectangle, all we gotta do is base times height, and that's gonna give us the area. This area represents hair length. So the millimeters in hair length is what this area is gonna represent. And that's given, you know, the big idea number 3. The area under a rate graph is accumulation. All right, so let's see. The height of this first one is 1.849. Can someone in the chat tell me what is 21 times 1.849? Because like I forget numbers once my mouse stops being on top of the dot. What is 21? That's the base of the rectangle times the height. So 21 times 1.849. Can someone tell me what area that is? And I'm gonna check the chat. Thank you so much, y'all. So helpful. 38.829. Thank you. Ooh. So I'm gonna just write that in so we don't forget 20. Sorry, y'all said 38. 38.829. 829. I'll just say 38.8. It's good to round. And it's gonna be millimeters. All right, let's do the next one. Thank you so much, y'all, for that help. All right, the next one is going to be, again, it's going to be the same base, 21, but now we're looking at this here second rectangle. 21 times, it had to be exactly at 126. So 21 times 2.186. So that's what we want, 21 times 2.186. Let me know what that is. So I could check the chat. 21 times 2.186. Let's see if we got it. Thank you so much. Yay. Thank you, Tori. Thank you, Shaylin. So 45.906. I'm just going to say 45.9. And see the same process. So how we go about calculating is just, we just keep going, just remembering that Y is your height, your bases, because we made sure they're all 21, they're going to be the same here. So then next we have, does someone already know? Can I answer the question, please? Sorry, what was the question? I didn't see it, Tori. Oh, for the questions that say insert graph, can I take a screenshot from Desmos? Yes, but your job will be now to explain it. That's correct. Sorry about that. I didn't see the question. And then, yeah, Diva also answered you, but I think you accidentally sent it to me. And yes, you can screenshot from Desmos. Sorry about that. All right. All right. So the next one is going to be 21 times 2.564. Could someone help me out on what that is? For those who came in right now, we're doing 3B on the mini final, and we are doing a right Riemann sum and trying to find the areas of this. If you are lost completely, I mean, I do have my second set of office hours, so I could start from the beginning of this explanation, just in case if you want to drop back in. All right, do we have what 21 times 2.564 is? Oh yeah, let's see. Thank you so much. So 53.844. Thank you, AJ. Thank you, Tori. So I'm gonna say 53.8. And then the last one is gonna be 21 times, and I already see the Y height here, 21 times 3.07 for the last rectangle. So the last one's gonna be 21 times, well, that's weird. This one says, well, this is according to the function, so whatever. 21 times 3.055 will be the last area, and we'll have a good estimate. We got 64.155. Thank you so much. So I'm trying to see how I could round that. The 5 can round the 1 to a 2. So I'm going to do 64.2 for the last one, just as an estimate, since it doesn't have to be perfect. And it makes sense. See how the areas are going up? So it makes sense that these are going up. All right, perfect. Let's go ahead and add these all up together to get the total area estimation of the area under the curve. But I want you to pay attention that when you're adding up these areas, you're also adding up these that are going over your curve. So when you talk about if your estimation is accurate, you want to say it's kind of not, right? Because we're kind of overestimating the area. That's what you want to say when you're asked about the accuracy of it. All right, we get 202.7 as a total area. 202.7 millimeters of hair. And again, this is millimeters of hair because the area under a rate graph is accumulation. Again, it is accumulation because this is a rate graph, and the rate graph was millimeters per day. And your x-axis was days. And if you were to actually calculate, when we were calculating each area, what we were doing, for example, for this first one, there's people coming in. And then I'll answer your question, Tori, right now in a second. But just so you all know, the Y is the area of these rectangles, total millimeters of hair. You want to make sure you answer that in your mini final. So, for example, when we calculated this first rectangle, what we did was 21 days times 1.849 millimeters of hair per day. So let me write that down. I'm gonna do the rate first. We did 1.849. That was the Y value for the first one. And the units of the Y-axis, if you go back to your table or your original graph, was millimeters per day. And the base, all of the bases were the same. There were 21 days. When you multiply these two, something cancels out. What cancels out when I multiply these? 1.849 millimeters per day times 21 days. That's a division. Sorry, let me fix that. So first off, we did that calculation. We got 38.8. And let me check out the chat. Yeah, the days cancel out. That's correct, AJ. So this portion that when you do rate times time and days cancel out, that is big idea number 2. Rate times time gives you accumulation. This is big idea number 2 right here. That canceling out right here, that's big idea number 2. Rate times time equals the thing that's getting accumulated. So if you want to make sure you're in your big idea packet and making those connections. Again, this is my rate, this is my time, and this is the thing that's getting accumulated or added up each time, like the thing that's increasing. Just shorthand that. Okay, and then now to address the questions that we had. When did you do 1.849? I don't know if I messed up that number when I wrote it. Let's see. It was when we did, was it 105? Yeah, this one. It was when I did this first one, I think. It was 105, right? Or was it 104? But that was just an example. That's where I got the 1.849, the height of the first one. I was just showing you that if I calculate the area of one rectangle, the units that cancel out is days, and you're left over with millimeters. And this is from big idea number 2. Whenever you do rate times time, you get the thing that's getting accumulated. And in this case, it's hair. And then once you do it for each of these, you get the total. And we have 202.7 millimeters of hair. But that's an overestimate, right? And one of the questions that y'all asked was, how do you add in the extras over the graph? So I would say, how would you subtract that off? So it's going to be up to you all how you want to kind of like address this. Like if you're try to combine all these white spaced areas, you might say maybe they kind of equal about a portion of this one. I've had students who are saying like, okay, it's this area, subtract 15% of that area, and then that's going to be maybe an approximation of your true area. So there's different ways to do that one, about how do you take out the extras in your estimation, if that makes sense for Tori. Let me know if anyone has questions on this. And again, let me just go back to the mini final. It says here, how confident are you about the accuracy? So remember, we went a little bit over our curve in the estimation, as you can see. So when you're answering whether this is accurate or not, you're going to say, no, it's not accurate. And you're going to explain why. And the reason why is we used a right Riemann, right? And we do have a bit of some area that's going above it. So it's going to be up to you how you want to subtract that extra area. So some people have been doing an estimate where they like kind of visually combine this in their mind and be like, oh, I think it's like maybe half of the 38.8. So I'm going to take off that much. Or some people are like, I think this extra white space is like 15 to 20% of the total area. So I'm going to subtract about 15 to 20%. Up to you how you want to tackle to give a more better estimate for that one. sorry. And that's for the advanced version, y'all. If you want to do that for advanced, it's not required for proficient though, for this part B. All right, let me know if there's any more questions. Oh, sorry, there's the chat. Can you tell the decimals for the third and fourth rectangles? Okay, let me try it. And again, some of you maybe did more. So the third and the fourth, this one. So this one was 147, right? Let me double check, hold on. 84 plus 21 is 105. 105 plus 21 is 126 plus 21 is, yeah, this one was 147, comma, 2.584. And then this last point was 168, comma, 3.055. Oh, yeah, 3.055 for the last one. The last one's height. Welcome. All right. Does anyone else have any questions on 3B or any clarifications or anything like that? Cool. Let me just give some wait time for y'all. And again, as y'all are typing your explanations, make sure that you're referencing what big ideas we're using. And I am not trying to delete the picture I just did because that was hard when that happened the first time. So again, the big ideas, just to go over that with you, I used big idea number 2, big idea number 3, and we also used big idea, all the big ideas that talk about the Riemann sum, because these rectangles right here are called a Riemann sum, but specifically we used a right Riemann sum. And because we used the right Riemann sum, we had an overestimate. So our area calculation is not accurate. And so we need to account for this extra white space. I will say this, some people try to actually, like if they take the time, they calculate the actual area of these triangles, and then they try to subtract that area from the total. That's another option too. If you want to have a more accurate estimate, you can do that as well, but up to y'all. Okay, so maybe hopefully someone could take a picture, you know, so this doesn't get, so you can reference this back. Y'all are free to do more than just 4 rectangles if you want to do more, but you don't have to. You could do less, but then you're going to have less of an accurate estimate. All right, let's go. So I'm going to go ahead and clear my screen. Oh, wait, something's in the chat. Oh, thank goodness. You said wait. Oh, I've seen that before. Of course. While you're doing that, let me just double check on our timing. Just pulling up the schedule to just check. What does 202 HQI mean? H2O2. Where is that? That sounds like a typo. What does 202 HQI? Oh, the 202 right here. This represents when we added up all these individual areas of the rectangle to get an estimation of the total area under the curve. So this was 202.7 millimeters of hair. So that was when we added them all up, all those little areas. Okay, so we go until 11. We have about 15 minutes. All right, let me know if anyone has additional questions on this. Let me go ahead and, is it okay to clear now? Let me know. Oh, not Google Form. Okay, so by the way, y'all, at the end of this, right? At the end of this, before you go, remember to the Google Classroom thing. So I don't know if maybe some of you are free to also come back in the next office hours as well if we want to continue this discussion. But as a reminder, so if you go to my Google Classroom, right, there's the assignment. And basically, you just want to quickly do that before you go. And it's this. It is required for everybody. So I'm just going to randomly choose period 1. It's for all classes. So it says answers plus reflection form required. This right here. And what you're doing here is you're basically going to copy and paste your responses of your mini final on here. You're going to copy and paste it on here. So question 1, copy and paste your answer for that. Question 2 looks like this. You're just going to go ahead and copy and paste your answer. And then you want to submit, what did you change? So what did you do right now when you revised? What was helpful? All of that. And then once you're done with that, you are free to, you can check out of my office hours. So that's just the last thing, but everyone's going to be required to do this before next week, just as like a heads up. So this is what you want to do before you head on out if you're ready to do that. But yeah. Okay, yeah, perfect. Someone says, can I go over phase 1? Yes. For those who are still needing, like those, some of you aren't ready, right? Because you still need to kind of adjust phase 1. So don't do the reflection form until you fix everything, right? That you need to fix. So yeah, let's talk about phase 1. So I'm going to go ahead and clear this up. Okay, then the 2A and 2B. So for the person who asked that, let's see, we have only a few minutes right now. So I don't think I'll get to 2A and 2B for now, but we should be able to get back to that in the next office hours, which is at 1:15, I think. So the next office hours, just pop back in and we'll restart it. We'll start talking about this again. All right, let's do this. And again, for those who are ready, fill out the form on my Google Classroom so you could check out of my office hours if you're ready to go. But you have to turn that in first. All right, so let's go to phase 1. Phase 1 right here. So phase 1 looks like this. And this is answering 3A, right? Yeah. So phase 1 is actually easier because you don't have a curvy rate graph. What you have is a straight horizontal rate graph. The big ideas I'm going to use for this one. For those who need extra support, yeah, Friday we have extra support by appointment, and we also have office hours tomorrow too, so you could still come into my class tomorrow. So for people who are here, we're working on phase 1. So if you're already done with the other stuff, fill out the reflection, and then you're free to get going into your break because we have a 2-hour break coming up. Just please fill out that reflection form first. This is what I'm looking for as your checkout. All right, so I'm gonna get a start on this, but we only have a little bit of time. All right, so I'm gonna be using Big Idea. If I'm looking at my packet, because we're talking about a rate graph again, I'm gonna be using again Big Idea 2, rate times time because accumulation, and I'm using Big Idea number 3 that that basically Big Idea number 3 says that the area under a rate graph equals the thing that we want, the accumulated unit. So in this case, again, we want to estimate how much hair the participants grew in phase 1. So I'm using Big Idea 2 and 3. I'm using Big Idea 2 because when you multiply rate times time, it gives you the accumulated unit, and here are different examples of when that happens. Again, you want to use those explanations when you talk about revising your work. All right, let's go. So okay, for those who are needing help with this one, okay, so I know this is a rate graph. What do I need to do to find the total accumulation of hair then? What should I do? Anyways. All right, any ideas for those who are, we're taking a look at phase 1. We have a straight horizontal rate graph, right? What should we do if we're looking at big ideas 1 and 2, sorry, 2 and 3, this one and this one? What should I do next if I want to find how much hair the participants grew? Yes, fill in the area. That's the whole idea. So I got that as direct message. Thank you so much. Yeah, as you can see, this very much looks similar to this horizontal pay rate graph. This one was straight, and it's straight because pay rate is like that. Your pay rate stays the same. For example, if you're getting $13 an hour, you're gonna keep getting $13 an hour. The rate is the same. The rate is constant. But if you find the area under your pay rate, that's gonna give you the total bucks you get, the total money you get. And as you could see, it's kind of small, but I shaded the area for the first 2 hours, and this person making $13 an hour, if I found the area, it gave me $26. So we're, yes, gonna apply big idea number 3 right here. We need to shade the area under this line, and then find what that is. So it's kind of like a skinny rectangle. And phase 1 ends after 84 days, so we stop at 84. Sorry, it's very horribly shaded. Let me try to, y'all get what I mean though. I was trying to maybe zoom in and make it better. My goodness gracious. Okay, let's just, there we go. That's as best as I could do. No, this is my technical difficulties. Okay. There. I just hope my screen doesn't move. Okay. Let me just finish shading this part. And 84 is, I think, a little bit over here. There we go. Okay, so great. So if I need to find the area of this, all I need is the base length and the height. So what is the base? This is a giant rectangle. What is the base length here? Let's see who knows here on the chat as you're following along. This is question 3B. What is the base length of this rectangle? Yes, thank you, Shaylin. So 84. And then make sure that everyone who's watching here understands that it is 84 and why it's 84. It is 84, and let's keep the units here. So it's going to be 84 days as the length. And now I'm going to go ahead and ask you all, this has a very, very teensy height, but the height is there. What is the height? And I'll probably write it up here. What is the height of this very long looking rectangle? Because we need the base and the height. All right, we got Shaylin says 1.57. And then again, let's see if anyone who had questions on this, you could also, participate so I could see that you were, understanding, following along. Yeah, it's 1.57 because this point right here, right? 1.57. And you want to make sure you write down what the units are. Again, at the beginning of this, like the whole prompt of this basically stated that what we had were hair rates of different participants, their hair rates per day. So their hair rate was growing constantly in phase 1 without using the Rapunzel hair product. So this is my height, this is my base. Now we have all that we need to find the area of this here rectangle. Let's do that. And I'm using big idea number 3 right here. Big idea says, number 3 says the area under a rate graph gives me accumulation. So I'm gonna go ahead and find that area. I'm gonna do 1.57 millimeters per day. And it's times 84 days. And the cool part about this one here, it's not an estimate. You're gonna actually get an exact answer because this is a perfect rectangle. And the exact area is gonna tell you how much hair. So once I set it up like this, what I'm now gonna be applying is big idea number 2. Because big idea number 2 tells me that when I multiply rate times time, my units cancel, the common units cancel, so days cancel out. And what do we get when we multiply 1.57 times 84? Oh, yeah. All right, we have one answer. Let me go ahead and wait for more answers, especially for those who asked for help on this one. I want to see what y'all are getting when you do this multiplication. So let me give some more time. Thank you so much for the participants so far. Great, good, good. So we got 2 so far who are getting the same answer. Yeah, so the area is going to be indeed, I have this memorized already because I see it so much, but yeah, it's going to be 130. No, actually, no, I don't have it memorized. 131.88, right? Yeah, 131.88. Do you have that round? You don't have to for this. I mean, you could have done 0.8, or if you want to put the 0.88, I'm fine. It's going to be 131.8 millimeters of hair. And again, as you're typing your work, I know it's really messy, but as you're typing your work, you want to, again, make sure that you're making connections to the big ideas. So this would be not enough, right, to get you to proficient. You want to tell me what you're doing. So I am finding the area under rate graph because, and then reference big idea number 3. And when I do 1.57 millimeters per day times 84 days, the units cancel. That's from big idea number 2. So just be very clear and straightforward on why this is making sense. And again, sense because this is what we've been studying is basically rate graphs, and this is a rate that we're looking at. This is not hair growth, it's a rate of hair growth. Hi, some of you that just came in. Office hours is basically over right now, but we're gonna go ahead and pause. So the next office hours is gonna be at 1:15, right? For those who still need to work on this, you could come on right back and we could continue to work on it. And before you leave my office hours, though, you want to fill out the reflection form. It is required for all students. Even for those who don't get this done now, they're gonna have to do it like over the weekend before Monday. So, but before you head on out, it's basically, again, let me show you what it is. And let me just click on a random one. So what you're doing is all you're doing is you're copying and pasting your answers to question 1 and question 2 of the mini final. Question 3 became question 2, by the way. We deleted the middle part for this revision part, so don't worry about that. You're just literally copying and pasting your responses. But the last and final thing you have to do is submit a reflection. So what did you learn from this revision process that we're doing right now? What do you understand about the problem that you didn't before? You're just going to go ahead and write a short reflection in this last box, and then you'll be free to, check out of the office hours and move on to a different one. But if you're done already, I would start this and just go ahead and hit submit. Everybody has it in each of their math classes. All right, let me know if anyone has further questions. Any questions on this? I heard someone trying to unmute.
Wait, do we have a class at 11? I'm confused about the schedule today.
No, so actually we have a break right now at 11, and you have to go back to your advisory at 1 for attendance.
Mm-hmm.
And then at 1:15 is the second round of office hours.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
Perfect.
Right.
Perfect.
Well, I'll
All
probably
right.
see you at 1:15 because I need help.
All right. Perfect. I'll see you at
All right.
1:15.
See ya.
See ya. You're welcome, everybody who attended. Again, if you didn't get the help 100% that all you needed right now, don't worry. We'll come back. You can come back at 1:15. There's also tomorrow. We have again 2 office hours tomorrow. But all right, y'all. Yep, you're welcome. Thank you so much, Shaylin.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
We don't have another, don't we have another set of brown block right now?
We do. We have one more office hours today. One more. So at 1, you're gonna check in with your advisor. Then at 1:15, it's gonna be the last office hour block for today. And then tomorrow.
Oh, I thought it was at 11. Oops.
No, thank goodness. We have a 2-hour break. So you have
Okay.
time to rest for 2 hours. And then at 1, you go back to your advisory check-in and we do this again.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, tell me why Miss Adano. Oh,
Oh,
oops.
Ah, you're so funny.
Bye.
All right, bye. All right, bye, Angelica. I hope this was.
Wait, I have a question.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so we just answered the ones that like we got it wrong, or
Yeah, so it was a little bit difficult because everybody was like needing help on different parts, right? So what we did today is I asked like, what do we need help with? Most people needed help with 3B, answering 3B. So then we started off with that, and then we went back to 3A to some help on answering that one. For the next office hours, though, I think someone said they're gonna need help on number 2, so we're gonna be starting on that one, and then it depends on what people need help on. You just ask for it in the chat, and we'll go over.
because I just want to revise the quiz. So I mean the final. So I just put the ones that I got wrong, or.
Are you talking about this one here? This?
Yeah.
Okay. So this one, you're gonna actually copy and paste your response exactly. So for number 1, whatever you put, copy and paste it. For this one, number 2, this part, you're just gonna go ahead and copy and paste your whole, like, what did you put? And then for the reflection, yeah, you're just gonna answer about the ones you got wrong and then fixed. That's it.
Oh, okay. Because I was getting confused.
Yeah. So this one, you're literally, for the most part, you're copying and pasting all your answers. And for the reflection, you're just going to answer like, what did you change? Why? What was helpful? And yeah, that's pretty much it.
But which one you said that became number 2?
Oh, yeah. So we deleted. So on this right here, we deleted all of number 2 on the mini final. So number 2 on the mini final was like, what was your functions? So we changed number 2 on here to be number 3. So number 3, A, B, and C.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, you're just gonna copy and paste. Basically, you're copying and pasting number 1, and then you're copying and pasting all parts of number 3 onto this box here. And you're just gonna not really care about number 2.
Oh, okay, I saw it. Okay, because 2, okay.
Yeah,
So
we deleted
basically,
that.
2 became 3.
Yeah, and we
Okay.
deleted that whole middle part. Like, we're not really interested in that portion. We're mostly interested in this part. Yeah.
Okay, because, yeah, 3, that's the one I got wrong.
Okay, perfect. And then that means, were you able to correct it?
I'm going to correct it later.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, and then maybe once you correct it, you could go ahead and reflect on what changes you made and why and so forth.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right, perfect.
Thank you.
Welcome. Bye.